Dear ENPHE members, I hope this message finds you well and safe. I'm recording it on behalf of the ENPHE governing board, as we are missing our network. We are missing our activities, our colleagues, our friends at ENPHE. Like you, we have been fully dedicated to readjust and reinvent our educational system in order to provide the best education to our future professionals, considering the circumstances. Due to this, we didn't manage to organize the events we wanted for ENPHE. Instead, we decided to join forces with the ERWCPT or World Physio and with the World Physio in order to provide documentation or webinars related with the challenges and the alternatives in terms of education in the current situation we are living. Every month we have a webinar running and ENPHE is participating in that, and in that way hoping to reach our network and still contribute for sharing our experiences and how are we dealing with education in the present times. However, is not sufficient. We do not consider sufficient, and we believe you also do not consider it sufficient. But circumstances do not allow different. We cancelled our seminars and the conference of this year. Certainly we cannot do it for next year, so we will come up with alternatives soon. But for now, there's a important moment in the life of ENPHE that we would not like to leave behind, and that's the 25 years, and that we consider to be a very important mark in history of ENPHE, and that should be celebrated with our network, with our ENPHE members. We also finalized a process of organizational redevelopment. We have to be implemented at the moment the new governing model for ENPHE, and we also would like to share that with you. So we are taking this opportunity with this video to both invite you for the celebration of 25 years ENPHE next Thursday, 5th November at 5 o'clock afternoon Central European time, where we would like to toast with you with a glass of wine or champagne the 25 years ENPHE. For that event, we also invited a stand-up comedian to bring some joy to the event, to bring memories of good moments we had together in our network, celebrating, sharing, developing, creating good relationships. So we hope next Thursday to be able to bring some of that energy back to us and bring us together. We also would like to share the history a little bit. Where did we start 25 years ago? What have we been developing, and where we are at the moment, and where are we going? And for that, I will make now a brief presentation. I will share my screen with you, where we can go through the history of ENPHE. Some of you will know this gentleman. Some of you heard about it, and probably some of you have no idea who he is. Mr. Karel Stappers was the founder of ENPHE, the first president of ENPHE, together with this executive board composed by Mary Garrett, Henry Boer, and Michel Papard. And together they had the intent of ENPHE to be the leading physiotherapy organization in Europe, enhancing collaboration and innovation in physiotherapy education in Europe. And that's how they started. That's how they started in Leuven in February 1995, with 83 participants, 68 schools coming from 15 European countries, in a conference that was at that time funded by the European Commission. And that's where they start the journey of developing a network fully dedicated to physiotherapy education. What have we been doing since then? A lot has been happening, not possible to list in one slide or two or three or four. And therefore, I selected some of the most important steps we took. And from those, I would like to highlight, for example, the competence chart, where we describe what are the competences of physiotherapists at the entry level, and therefore what higher education institutes need to provide, need to train as competences. That's one of the big marks we had since the start of the network. Due to the complexity and the different demands, we also felt the need of creating working groups dedicated to specific topics, and that has been evolved as well along the process. The need to create a students group, the need to have students engaged in the network, working together with teachers, the only way to have a real co-creation and to provide education that meets the student needs. The participation on the ESCO document, an European document that describes professions, and in our case, 3 levels at the profession, and how education should prepare those professionals and what are the educational requirements. The partnership with the European region of the World Physio and the World Physio, mainly with their educational groups, where we can share more at the global level out of Europe. The approval of an associated membership to permit non-European members to join ENPHE, to bring their experience, to share with us, to learn from us. The partnership with similar organizations like ENPHE, with like IPAN and AIA, and even now looking for other partnerships where we can learn from them, where we can also improve our models of working, and where we can also increase the benefits for our memberships. And finally, the new governance model. That is the milestone we reached this year. Unfortunately, not able yet to share it closer to you, but ready to implement. And that's something I would like to summarize in this presentation. So in fact, after 25 years, we also felt the need to change the models of working. The network became more complex, the demands became higher, and that demanded an organizational structure also more complex, also more organized. And that really came after 25 years. Along these 25 years, we had 13 executive boards with changes every 2 years or every 4 years. And this is the current executive board. And in fact, the one that has been in the process of the organizational development. Where are we? What were these developments? What is this organizational development? What is this new governance model after 25 years? Well, to start, there is a change in the governance guidelines, and we moved from 2 single documents, a charter and bylaws, to a full dossier where transparency is the main goal, where all the procedures, interactions between groups, decision-making are clear, transparent, and visible to all members. You can find this dossier in our website where you can have access. In terms of vision, in fact, looking back to 25 years ago, there's not many changes. We still aim to be the leading physiotherapy organization in Europe, enhancing collaboration and innovation in physiotherapy education. We aim to be the home for educators, students, and professionals, where we can openly engage and collaborate, where we can find support and align to improve our educational system, contextualized to our needs. The mission is more clear, is more explicit after 25 years. ENPHE has the mission to be a voice in Europe. We should be part of decision regarding education. We should be part of developments in Europe. ENPHE or physiotherapy education should be in the map, and we should represent this education. Our mission is also to be a forum to our network, to our stakeholders, where everybody is free to join, is free to establish and develop discussions, is free to learn. And ENPHE is a forum for that in physiotherapy education. We are also a connector. It's also clear that physiotherapy and physiotherapy education needs to be broader than the physiotherapy world. We need to be in connection with other professions. We need to be in connection with society. And ENPHE also has that mission to provide this connection. By joining ENPHE and comparing to 25 years ago, there is more benefits. There's more clear outputs. There's more clear connections and projects running. More than acquiring advanced knowledge in physiotherapy education or exchanging educational development, at the moment at ENPHE, you have also the possibility to join collaborative projects in research. You also have access to trends and innovation in education. The diversity of our network really permits to have access to totally different models of working or providing education than the one we are used to have. And that's something that grew in the past 25 years. Also, the possibilities to increase staff and students' mobility, to be part of a benchmark quality educational programs. These are benefits that any member at ENPHE at this moment can have. In terms of network, we are a network of lecturers, teachers, staff, and directors and students. It started just with teachers, but this is where we are at this moment. All involved in higher education at the bachelor and at the master program. And maybe what distinguishes from other networks is our models of working. Even our seminars and conferences are active from our members. It's not that we have an audience listening to us. No, the audience in our conferences are the same ones who have been building up the conference, are the same ones who have been building up the content by networking, by participating in working groups, by participating in interactive forums. And this is what makes ENPHE special. That's what makes ENPHE a network that is not common to see, but also that's what makes this network the rich network that we have at this moment. In terms of membership, there's a big change since 25 years. As I mentioned before, we started with 15 European countries. Currently, we have 31 in our network, 68 schools in 1995, 150 schools at the moment, and growing. Many non-European members interested in joining, more European members interested in joining, and that we believe because it starts to be visible the benefits ENPHE can bring to a member. Our organization became really more complex. As you can see in this picture, there are different groups. Instead of starting or having an executive board and a group of members joining, we felt the need to create a more structured organization. Of course, we still dedicated to the educational community that is composed by the full membership and associated membership. We keep a general assembly. We increased our country coordinators group, but we felt the need in terms of the governing board to have extra support. Especially at the administration level, it became more complex. We have more financial responsibilities. We have more members to manage. We need to have a more professional communication strategy. We need to have a more strategic view in terms of development. And for that, we need more support. And that's where we created the network management and the office management, which will be more supportive in terms of general management of the organization. But we also created the advisory board. Sometimes issues are so complex that we need the support of experts in certain topics to advise the governing board how to run the network. For example, finances became more complex. Certain topics in education, they require the opinion of experts. And that's what we mean with advisory boards. And that means that this advisory board is not fixed. So it can be changed and adjusted in terms of persons according to the topic that we need that advice, and can be composed by internal members, but also from external. And I say for the last thematic working groups, which are in fact the existing working groups, and that is something we want to maintain because this is the heart of ENPHE. That's where all the magic happens. That's where the work is developed. That's where the sharing happens. And for that, I would like to go a bit more deep in how does it look like and what are exactly the changes we implemented in the working groups. First, they are called thematic working groups, and those are the ones that are listed here. Teachers Reflective Tool, or CPD, is a current project, is a current working group, and we call it thematic because it's thematic, is to a specific topic. Blended learning is another topic. Direct access and advanced practice is another topic. Developing research is another topic. So these are what we call the thematic working groups. Each working group has a leader, as a facilitator, but they are to be aligned with the four main dimensions at ENPHE. And those four dimensions are education, research, and education and research are aligned with the global issues. So in this way, bringing our perspectives to the outside world, out of physiotherapy, but also to the internal world, professional issues. And these four dimensions are entangled. That means that some thematic working groups, they can belong to one dimension, to two dimensions, or even to three, or to the four dimensions. It depends on the aim of that project, of that thematic working group. Next to these groups, we also created what we call the emergent group. And this is a space we reserve for institutions or for members that are looking for more alternative ways in education, more innovative ways in education that are probably not yet tested, that need more reflection, more brainstorming, more sharing. And we are creating this space at ENPHE for institutions that feel the need to have something different. And this is the way we found to facilitate that. And the last change we also made is about the logo. We moved from our yellow stars and blue letters to a more clean and soft image of our network, but at the same time, a strong image. We hope you like it. So the question now is, 25 years have passed, a lot has been developed. We are still in the midst of developments, but where are we going now? What are we going to do in the coming 25 years? And for that, we are counting on you. We don't have an answer. That's the magic of ENPHE. It's a participative process. It's co-creation behind. Together with you, we are defining what will be the future of ENPHE. And of course, that one is totally in line with the demands in society. So the future is also dependent on the future of society and our capacity to adjust, the agility to move and to adjust, to update education according to those demands. And that's where we need you. That's where we need the diversity of our network. So in fact, we are looking forward to continue co-creating with you. And thank you very much for being with us in this mission. For a few of you, already 25 years. For a few of you, a little bit less, but we hope you still are engaged and motivated, and you still feel the magic of being in ENPHE. And I would like to finalize just to congratulate ENPHE in this 25 years of existence, and hoping that we can continue having joy together for the years to come. I hope to see you next Thursday with a glass of champagne to celebrate this anniversary. Thank you very much.